are now at step 6, discussing techniques for the dimension intrinsicness using template number 6, with which you would have observed, analyzed, and understood many situations of the past or present. And you would have been able to evidence what is a non-conducive mode, namely a mode also called outside in, where the belief is that any experiences, values, purposes, experiences of your assets or your moods, your thoughts come from the outside, and that the control over these also come from the outside. So this mode is also called the extrinsic mode, extrinsic from outside. You would have also been able to envision or imagine a conducive mode, which is the intrinsic mode, which is inside out. That is, your experiences, either driven from your values, from your purpose, from your assets, from your emotions that would be positive, and your thinking come from inside you. And the control over these also come from inside. So you bring things to situation rather than expect things coming from situations. So what would be techniques for practice? Simply said, again, the go technique, where we give up what is non-conducive and up for what is conducive. So we'll be moving from the extrinsic or outside in to the intrinsic, which is inside out, where the control is in. Here the control is outside. So one way of doing this is using a technique that opts for chooses this mode. So you could ask yourself, when you're in a situation or about to be in a situation or rehearsing being in a situation, you could ask yourself, which of my piece elements, for example, am I bringing to this situation? Same thing, what assets am I using and bringing to the situation? It could be what values, like ethics, what purpose, etc. am I again bringing? So the key is that you connect with them and you bring them very consciously to the situation. Same thing with what may be called dimensions. So what dimensions, so what emotions, for example, positive emotions or thoughts, etc., do you bring to the situation? So that would be the up for, so very consciously determine beforehand what you bring in, and therefore you have the control, you anchor in them, you choose them, you bring them in, so the control is yours. And to give up what you do is you could ask yourself, do I really believe that my happiness will come from the situation? Or do my attributes, ethics, purpose, etc. would come from the situation? And where do I believe the control is? If it's outside, then I would see right away that's the mode to give up. So consciously opting, as you also consciously see, acknowledge what is being done, and that is extrinsic, and letting go of it would be the techniques to shift from a non-conducive extrinsic mode to a conducive intrinsic mode.